Hello and welcome to Wednesday's edition of Alien8uk. I'm joined by my wonderful co-host Nicole and our amazing guest, Mr. Master Daniel Lee Barnett. So please do keep the swearing down to a minimum, as he is only a child. But you wouldn't think that once you start talking to him. It's just mind blowing. But a massive thank you, Daniel, for coming on and being part of this. Absolutely appreciate it.
You are more than welcome, guys. More than welcome.
Right. So rundown is Daniel's only going to be on for an hour because he's got very, very, very busy. He's got loads of other stuff to do. He's got a conference that he's sorting out, which is in May. He's got TV production to do. He's got his podcast. He's got meetings. Not bad for you are 15, aren't you?
I am 15. Yeah.
Yeah, not bad for a 15-year-old, is it?
Wow.
I was thinking what I did when I was 15. Not even. No, nothing. Not even close. So,
my son is 15. You know what he's doing right now? He's in his room sleeping.
Well, yeah. So Daniel's going to be on for an hour. We have got quite a few updates. The main one is for our Christmas special next Friday. So
we're going to do that
guys, we're going to do it after. So we'll give Daniel the full hour. Then we'll take a break. While doing the break, we'll then get ready for the second half. So, welcome, Daniel. So, Daniel, you are located in the southwest of the UK, not too far from Bristol. I'm not going to give you exact location away.
Yeah.
You did, and this is how I got in touch with a few of the guests that I've had on over the last few months. You did a conference over near, is it Burnham-on-Sea?
Yeah.
Is that correct? And you had people, you had guys going over from America, like big names. You had Brian King Sharp, and then you had Paul Howard. I can't think of any other names. Nickname, she was there, she met you, and she's the one that put me in touch through you doing this to me having the guests on and just it going the way that it's gone. So as I said to you, I don't know how you do this. Not even got a clue.
I don't know how I do this either.
How did you get started with all this? Like, how did you decide that's what you wanted to do?
So I think it's one of my favorite stories to tell because it's really odd. Now, so I was at my nanny and granddad's house, okay?
Yeah.
And I was going up to my office to grab a piece of paper. And I passed my granddad's room, and he was playing a TV show, and I'm like, "Oh, that's interesting." And all I heard the word were, "Oh, run!" So I sat down next to him. I had my sister and my cousin in the room as well, and I was just watching this, and it was just amazing, and the program was just incredible. Now I had no idea what I was watching, and I had no idea what was on TV. Now I was probably 12 or 13 at the time, so I had no idea what was going on. And then it wasn't until the end of that program that Gramps told me, that is called Expedition Bigfoot. I went, okay. I found that really interesting. So the next week, I went back and watched the episode again. And then we kept watching more and more episodes. And then I was watching some at home. And I just eventually just watched the whole series. To this day, I've now watched every episode about 51 times. So that was how I got into it. Now, I then turned around to my cousin and Nan and went, "Do you know what? I want to go out in the forest. I want to go out and I want to go and look." Now, instead of looking for Bigfoot that we didn't think was in the UK at the time, we went to look for deer, and we called it Expedition Deer. So we went out. I went out with my cousin, and I went out with Nan. And we thought this was a one-time thing. We took everything we could under the sun. We counted about 50 bags, I swear. And we went into a local forest, and we were casting prints, taking EDA from prints, and we were learning from Expedition Bigfoot. Now, that turned in from one expedition to a year of expeditions all the way through winter. Nan was freezing. She's now 73. I'm still dragging her around the forest. And it was just incredible. And it was like when we saw our first deer, and a lot of people went, "Oh, I see deer all the time," but we were actually researching deer and researching their habits, what they eat, and it was just an amazing year. Now, during that time, I started my podcast, and I started to gain information about Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Now, once that year came to an end, because there's only so many times that you can do the same things over and over and over again, we then went, do you know what? Let's go and look for something that is cryptic, that is cryptozoology.
Yeah.
So we decided to go looking for a local big cat. So we found a forest, and we found a stream running below it. And it's in the middle of fields, opposite to where we had our first kind of expedition. So me and Nan get in the car, gear up, scale down the gear at this point, and we go to the forest. Now, I walk in this forest expecting to find nothing but deer and kind of that kind of stuff. So we're walking down this trail that is obviously made by humans, and we're then hearing deer, and we're then just hearing all different types of sounds. And then we're walking up a bit of a ridge, I would say. So I'm about 500 feet in front of Nam, okay? And I then suddenly feel a tap on my left shoulder, and I look around going, what? Expecting either we'd drop the water bottle or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, it's just me and Nan, and it's probably mid-afternoon. And all Nan says to me is, "Daniel, look down." I go, "What?" So I look down, and we've stood there for 3 to 4 minutes and not saying anything to each other. And guys, I swear to God, I'm looking at an 18-inch footprint in front of me.
Wow.
And that is crazy. Now the fact people keep saying where you have Bigfoot in your minds, or I'm like, we're out looking for big cats. We don't even have Bigfoot remotely in our minds. And I'm looking down and just going, "Ooh, okay." Now, to this day, I haven't said that print is Bigfoot, and I won't say it is, because unless I see the creature make it. Now, learning from what I did from Expedition Deer and from Expedition Bigfoot, I took eDNA, and we casted the print.
Yeah.
I then started contacting every eDNA company under the sun. And one day, Dad and Mum were shopping in B&M, I think, and they got a ring, and Dad was like, "Hello," and it's an eDNA company saying, "We're replying with your son's email," and Dad's like, "Who the hell is this?"
Yeah.
So it kind of evolves from there, and we then actually send the eDNA off. Now it's 6 samples we sent, or 5 samples we sent off. It was some other indentations that we found about 20 minutes away from this main footprints. We found some other kind of indentations, and we took all different samples. They then told me the chances of finding something is very slim, and it will take about 6 weeks. So we sent it off to a lab in Portugal. Now I'm talking to them every other day on emails.
Yeah.
Once that 6 weeks is done, they then sent me an email and went, "Daniel, we need an extra week of sequencing." I went, "What?" I went, "Okay, fine. I don't know the science and that in it."
Yeah.
Then when that week passed, I then received a phone call from Dad, and I was stood with Nan at the time. And he was explaining what the eDNA company had told him. And it was the scientist on the phone to him saying, right, we have no idea what your son has done. Apparently, there was a lot of swear words on the phone, and a lot of swear words came out of my mouth when I heard this these results.
Yeah.
So they said, look, we don't want to send you the results until we tell you on the phone. And Dad goes, hold on, what? Just tell me. And they said, your son may have done it. And they came back with, we have found great ape DNA and old world monkey DNA in that footprint.
Oh.
Wow. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
What did you do with it after that? Like, where'd you go from there?
So once we got the results, we were kind of in awe for a while about it, and we then went out in the forest, and we found bone pits. When I mean bone pits, I mean about 40 to 50 bones in one concentrated area.
Oh.
There was an odd. Now, a lot of people who know me, I'm not in the paranormal world, and I put my hands up and go, I don't associate myself with that because I have no kind of interest yet.
Yeah.
But I can explain what happened here. Now, my cousin now is 11 and was 10 at the time. Now, Nan was at the top of the ridge, and we have to use a rope to get down this ridge. It's kind of just a slope, but you can slip quite easily. So we get down, and it's just me and William. Now, I'm 14, and I'm having to be kind of careful because we are kind of in the middle of the forest, and Nan's about 10 minutes up the ridge. So I'm having to kind of, and then we find, now again, I'm not big on tree structures, but we found an X 15 feet in the air in between two trees. I'm like, oh, okay. I have no idea what that is. Now, William's taking photos, and he's kind of doing all sorts of angles, and I'm kind of looking around, and then the wind starts to pick up, and it's evening. So we then get back home, and we were wondering about the car. And then William starts singing, and I'm going, oh, William, shut up. we're in the forest listening to birds, and he just come out of school, and I go, William, shush now, stop. And then he starts humming, and I go, William, you okay, mate? He's like, and he's just not answering me. Now he's getting further and further away and getting quicker, and I'm just saying, Nan, what's going on? What's going on? And he then we get home, and he says, I never want to go there again. I go, oh, okay, fine. So I kind of, a couple days pass, and I have really bad headaches all the time, and it runs in my family. Yeah. But William never gets headaches, and we had the same headache for 2 days. Now, I'm open to coincidences, and I jotted that down as just that's weird. Then I was on another podcast actually, and I had a Facebook notification on my phone, so I just kind of, and it said, "Is that Bigfoot?" And I'm like, "What?" And it was a picture that William took of the tree structure. So I zoom in. I go, that's funny. I actually realise there's a dark figure in the back of that tree structure.
Oh.
And I have to come off the podcast. I go, excuse me, I have to leave this podcast a sec. And I rang Nan and William and went, oh my God. Honestly, it is, you've got the head and that's all. I go, wow. And then it explains why William was acting so weird. Because then he may have saw something. He said he didn't see anything. But I'm like, that's weird.
Shut it out.
Yeah, because sometimes you see something and you don't even realize that you're seeing it after. until you go back and like.
Yeah, so with the singing and the humming, he's shut it out of his own mind just to get out of there and get back home. Yeah. When you said that, I picked up on that. Yeah.
He didn't admit to seeing anything, so he took a photo. Now, so you have kind of a ridge, kind of a flat bit, a long ridge, and then you have a path, and then a short ridge, and then you got fields. All right. So we're on the path, and you got a very short ridge, and then fields. Now, me and Dan go back, and this is where it gets weird. So Dan sat there. Now, Dan is the most skeptical person I've ever met, and she has the most open mind as well. And she's sat there, guys, and she's trying to place this photo, and she can't. And I'm like, "We in the right spot, and we're right here. We're right here." So I'm like, "Okay, I've had enough now." I tie the rope on a tree, and I'm down there, and I'm trying to find out what's going on. And we're just within ear reach, and now and then radio's down the walkie-talkie, and Daniel, you need to get back up here right now. Again, okay, I get back up. So when you tip the phone up, we find out that no, this creature ain't on the ground. It's 15 feet in the air, in a tree. So it explains when William took the photo, he then looked down, and then obviously we left. But whatever this was in a tree. Now, whether it was the shadow, because it was evening, it could have been. Whether it was, we'll never be able to find out.
No.
But it's one of those where I go, that's weird. And there was bones down there that we found. Again, we found multiple bones over this forest.
Yeah.
And so that is one of the most weirdest story I can ever come up with in that forest. And a lot of weird things have happened in that forest where every time we go in there, we will always come out with answers. So that's kind of what happened after the DNA, and then obviously things then grew and grew and grew.
Wow.
Yeah.
But to do that and then to go there and just, even though it's only a couple of things, they are two of the biggest things that you could ever get as heading towards the evidence that we're all looking for.
Yeah, people go their whole paranormal careers without finding anything even close to that.
Oh, yeah. It's just...
So I can keep rolling if you want, and I can just talking. Yeah,
keep going.
So so kind of I then get to November, and whoever's posting these links, thank you so much. And we kind of in November now, and I wrote my first book, and I then published that book, and then we started conferences, and we started kind of getting UK guys together, and that started to grow. Then in January of this year, I got a phone call from a guy named Marty from Florida, or in America, who runs the Great Florida Bigfoot Conference. He runs a cruise, and he runs the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Conference. And he said to me, "We want you to speak at the Great Florida Bigfoot Conference." And I'm like, wow, okay. And that was incredible. That took place in June, and that was just incredible. I think there was about 3,000 to 5,000 people there, and it was just remarkable to speak in front of all those people. Now, also what happened in January is I got a phone call from a director and producer of a filming company, and that film company is local to where I am. And he or she said, "Daniel, we really want to make a documentary." I'm like, okay. Now, we then ran with that idea, and we brought over 3 researchers from Finding Bigfoot and Expedition Bigfoot.
Yeah.
So to go from watching Expedition Bigfoot to working with these guys in the UK is fantastic. Fantastic.
I can imagine. Yeah.
So we worked with them for about a week and a half. We actually did a conference in April with them, and we did a Q&A. Very successful and very amazing. Now, one of my very, very dear friends now, Ryan RPG Golembeski from Finding Bigfoot and Expedition Bigfoot, we were down having the last meal together before they flew back, and I was stood with Monica, the director and producer, and Ryan went, "Wouldn't it be cool if we went to Seattle, Washington?" And that's exactly what we did. So me and Monica just looked at each other and went, "Let's do it." And at that point, it was a joke. Actually, turned out that did happen. So in August, we flew to Seattle, Washington. I can't begin to say what happened there. I can't begin to say that. That was now all that we are allowed to say is we all went there believing, some not believing at all. My dad don't believe at all. The camera crew didn't believe at all. Monica didn't believe. Nan didn't. And we went, and we all have come back knowing. So that's where, as much as I can say, that was what happened. And we will never forget that. We talk every day as a team, and we will never forget what happened that night. And I think we ran up an 8,000-foot peak. And it's like people ask you that question of what would you do if you encounter a Bigfoot? And I never thought I would be able to answer that question, and I can now. And the answer I thought was going to be run away or stand still. Oh no, I ran towards it, which I never thought I would do. And say things are beginning to be leaked now online, so a lot of people are now starting to see things, and say the documentary should be out by the end of this year or beginning of January, hopefully, depending on how quickly it should come to the US first before the UK. But that's kind of how all that happened, and the eDNA kind of kicked me off to a point of doing all of this now. And Andy, we share a friend in common that that is now doing a series with me.
Is it Harlem by any chance? Yeah.
No.
You know what?
No.
I am not jealous one bit. I'm so jealous of everything you've just said. But I think it's absolutely amazing of what you've done, where you've been, who you've met up with, and what you're still doing now. It's absolutely just wow. It really, really is. I'm still really jealous, but what can you do?
And just shout out how awesome it is that your family is so supportive of what you do, and will go fly to Seattle with you to do these things and support you.
And say a lot of people say that they're expecting a Bigfoot documentary.
Yeah,
that's not what's coming. What is coming is a documentary about my journey and about autism and about how things grow. And Bigfoot is the second main capital, but autism is that main capital. Now I haven't said it yet, but I'm autistic, and on there, you've seen good in autism, and then the things that I struggle with, and it then builds that documentary, and at the end of the doc, it just explains it, and it just it
just
just
brings
explains
it all together.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. It does.
Yeah.
So so I'm filming a couple of TV series come next year. One based in the UK and then one based both in UK and US. So yeah.
Cool.
It's
That's
interesting,
so
the
amazing.
connection, though. I'm really excited to see that because I do a lot with paranormal, with spirits and ghosts and all that type of thing. And it's kind of a common theme that neurodivergent people have a lot more experiences because their minds just work a little differently. It's not as closed off to things as maybe neurotypical people.
Yeah. Well, that was going to be my question. Sorry. That's right. Go on. You go first. It's fine.
Say there's a lot of people online, and I face some quite difficult problems in the Bigfoot world, and there's been some quite nasty ones, where people have said, "Oh, he don't have autism," and then we go, "Are you a doctor?" Now the thing is in the Bigfoot world and in the conference organizer, the director of the documentary, the me now is me. When I come off screen, I then change it into the real me, which is where I can't. So I'm in year 11 now. So Andy, that will make a little bit more sense to you than you, Nicole. But I'm in exam year, and I can't step in my school. I can't step through the gate. I can't put my foot through the gate because it's too hard, and I can't even bring myself to think about it. Can't even put my school clothes on, let alone. And that's where a lot of people are surprised, and that's what the documentary shows really well. That I can do that. I can do this. I can organize a conference. I can do all that. But I can't do school, and I can't. It's something I just can't do. So it's where you have two very different sides of me. Now sometimes it leaks into the other. So but that's what the doc shows really well. Really well.
I suppose it's like you hit a brick wall and it's just there's no give in the wall, I suppose. But then, like you said, but my question was going to be, because of your autism, do you find that you're more open to the paranormal or the phenomena of the different things that are going on that the average person wouldn't pick up on?
So I think where kind of it helps me in the Bigfoot world will be because of if I'm interested in something, I'll do it. And it's like every time I go to my conference organizers or I go to my team or I got an idea, they all sigh and they all go, "What now?" Even Nan's got fed up now of answering the phone to me, but because every time I say I've got an idea, it actually turns up actually happening. So it's kind of that's now the paranormal world. I think it's just by accident. Let's say that I haven't got into it yet, and I just now as I'm working with RPG, as I'm working with these guys, I can see that they all stemmed from kind of paranormal that got into Bigfoot. I found that a lot, and I'm working with people that are in the paranormal world. So I can go. I will slowly dip into it. I'll then dip my toe out, and then kind of But my main thing is Bigfoot because of what started me off and what. So, and you have such good times in the Bigfoot world, but there are times that are really horrendous. Now I've been told that it's the same with the paranormal world as well. That you have those both sides. So I and say I am open to all of it. Now, when someone comes to me and goes, "I've just seen Bigfoot step into a portal," I'll go, "Brilliant." I'm like, I won't believe that until you show me. Until you show me Bigfoot getting into a portal, or you take me through a portal, I will believe it 100%. And I do it all the time on my podcast. So I'm go, brilliant story, and not saying that I don't believe you. It's just I won't believe it until I see it.
Yeah.
And doesn't mean that it's not out there. And it's like the same thing with the DNA. People said that I faked the DNA. I'm like, okay, so can you wander down to Morrison's or something and get old world monkey DNA?
Yeah.
I'm not sure you could do that.
I don't think they do it. I think they're out of stock.
No, yeah.
You're not like some scientist working in a lab. You're a 13-year-old kid in the forest.
Teeny might have it. You never know. Might be on special.
Oh yeah. So, but that's where people go. You've faked the DNA. I'll go. No, I haven't. So it's where and a lot of people said, well, he said it's Bigfoot. I keep going to say it's Bigfoot, but I haven't, and it's been for about a year and a half now, because the DNA results came out last year. So I haven't said it to this day, and even me and Dan like, don't say it, and that's where things kind of so it's really kind of
No, I get that, because sorry, I was just going to say, because the stuff that I've encountered and seen, I can tell you what I've seen, but then I'm not going to say, and it was it was this, unless other than the ones that I know 100% were these actual things. Like, I'm going to say it, the pterodactyl. I watched it fly across the sky. It was a pterodactyl. But with some of the spirits, full body apparitions and that, I seen one, was it a week ago today? And it looked like someone crossing the road, but I'm not going to say it was a ghost. It was a spirit, because I don't know what it was. It was there. I looked, and they couldn't have gone anywhere. There's a fence, there's a bushes. Unless it went under or over the 7-foot gate, fence, whatever. I don't know, but I could tell you what it looked like, and that is it. But I won't say, same as you, I won't put a label on it and say it was 100% because I don't know.
Yeah. And say that's where kind of, so there's a difference between knowing and thinking. So it's like what I saw in Seattle, I know was what it is, and we've been through every possible kind of thing that it could be, and I've been through every kind of possible answer, and I had 5 people around me, and I'm like, do you know what? It couldn't be anything else. And I'm not going to say what it is yet, because otherwise I'll completely break my NDA, and I'm one of the directors, and it will look really bad. Kind of that's where I know, and a lot of people go, well, you don't know. I'm like, but I do. And what was said there as well was, we don't care. I don't care what anyone says. I know what I saw, and I know what was there, and that was what every member of my team said was, we know what was there, and it's like we're all kind of, and we all said that we are humbled to have that happen, and say there was different people in the team, and to get that team that was there on that moment was just the perfect team. And one of the sayings that the RPG uses is that everyone in the world will find their team, will find their tribe, he uses. And it took us a year to find the group, because with other people, and it wouldn't have happened the way that it did happen. And
totally
that's
get that.
where everyone up there went, do you know what? We don't care what anyone says online. We don't care because we know when we've stood here and we stood here, and it's like grown men were crying on the floor. That's how much kind of things happened. And so yeah, so that was a magical experience, let's say.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't discount anybody's experience, because that happened to them. And debunkers can sit there and go through and, oh, well, maybe it was this, maybe it was this. But as Brian said the other day, were you there? No, so you can't say what happened.
Yeah.
But you were there. You know what happened.
But everyone always tries to debunk their own sightings anyway. I do, and most of the people that I know do. You go through it over and over in your head. What could it have been? Could it have been this? Could it have been that? And I've done it on things that I've seen 2-3 years ago, and I'm still no nearer to any of it. So I know what I can. Like I said, I know what I've seen. I can tell you what I've seen. That's all you can get. That's all you can have.
Yeah. So do you want me to dive into the conference? Because that'll take 4 days for me to explain.
Yeah, we got 20 minutes if we're doing an hour. So good luck. So going all the way back to kind of when I first started conferences, we were doing it for children, and we still are, but we did a specifically children Bigfoot event. It's the first time that we've ever kind of done one. And that's where I met one of my very, very, very good friends now, who is just one of the most amazing researchers I've seen of in the UK, and that kicked us off, which was amazing. We then grew to then starting a UK conference that was called the Crypt Conference UK. And we then grew into doing kind of, we were getting some smaller guests. I think we had Richard Freeman, our first one, Jonathan Downs. And then it grew to the one that we did last year. And I met Brian just before my eDNA came out. So I've known Brian for one of the longest. I went, do you want to come over to the UK for it? And we had a couple of others lined up. There was hinting of Jeff Meldrum possibly being there, but he turned to a virtual. We then had RPG cancel last minute, and then Ronnie LeBlanc did it virtually as well. Yeah.
So we grew to that. And then Nan went, I ain't doing another one. I went, yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Yeah. So it's got to the point of this year being the biggest one we've ever had. Now, so me and Nan are the main organisers, but I've had to get co-organisers in to help. So Brian is actually one of the co-organisers. We then had Gwendolyn Purcell there last year from the US, and she's also a co-organiser this year. And but I've been told I seem to have a problem keep getting more guest speakers, and I just keep going and going and going and going, and until I run out of room, because this venue soon is just going to explode. So this venue has kindly given the venue to us for free, which is incredible. Right. They're a community centre down here in Bridgewater. Where they've given us several halls and that. So it's incredible. Now, some of the guests that we've got, our guest headliner for next year is Ryan RPG Golembeski from Finding Bigfoot, Expedition Bigfoot. And he is just one of the most incredible people I've met. And I met him I met him online doing my podcast in February. I've met him about 5 times in person this year, so that's incredible.
Yeah.
We then have our other guests. So Brian King Sharp is also a guest. Gwendolyn Purcell is also a guest. We then have Ryan Sprague from Scotland, who was in Ancient Aliens, I think Expedition Bigfoot, and some other TV programs. And we have someone coming from Washington State who lives on the Quinault Reservation, and his name is Matt Parrish, and he works with some Native Americans, and he's actually witnessed Bigfoot himself. He's coming up on a big TV program, and he's coming over as well, which is just awesome.
Yeah.
Let's try and not forget any of my guests. We are very lucky to have the Alaskan Killer Bigfoot guys coming over. So we have DJ Brewster, we have Keith Seville, we have Frank Beristoff, and Jeff Davis. And then I am yet to announce one more who will be joining us as well next year. So we'll have 5 cast members in total, who will all be present at the event. Next year, I think I only have 2 virtuals over a 3-day event, which is just remarkable, considering that we've got all these guests. And then we have Ronald Murphy, who works with Small Town Monsters, who will be coming over to speak. We then have a UK paranormal and Bigfoot researcher, Vivian Powell, who runs a podcast network, and who will be kind of taking the UK crown, let's say, and will be kind of holding the UK in the conference. I think that's it. Oh, we also have a exclusive VIP guest, which is he's also based up in Scotland, Andy McGrath, who will be down at the conference. And then I think that's it. That's it. I think I apologize to anyone who for now. I have I think 2 more guest announcements to make over the next couple of weeks or so. And then we should be done by Christmas. And then we're then going to begin kind of other announcements. So we're having inside the venue is the Bigfoot event. And then outside we're going to have vendors and all sorts of different things for people to have a look at. So for anyone who's interested at coming to the conference, Andy, so we have several different ticket types. Now I've had quite a few messages because there are a lot on there. So our admission tickets, we have our general admission ticket that will get you in on our main event, which is Saturday, the 31st of May, from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. And then we have our early entry ticket that will get you in an hour earlier, so get you in at 9, and that will get you in for the Saturday. We then have our VIP package that will then turn your 1-day event into a 3-day event, which will cover your Friday evening, Saturday, and Sunday. Which means you can get all the guest talks.
Yeah,
you get all kind of the guest experiences and that. And then the Saturday evening, we are then doing. You'll get 3 Q&As involved, and then you'll also get a bar and bands evening with all the guests. And that will cover. So your VIP package will cover the Friday evening, all day Saturday, all Saturday evening, and all day Sunday. Very confusing. We then so that package is £25 that will cover the entire weekend.
Well, that's good.
I've just seen.
I thought you were going to put a 1 in front of that.
Right?
Yeah. I know what I'm doing.
So that will cover. Now we also then have something that we've introduced this year, which is guest experiences. So we've picked a selected number of guests that will be doing different experiences. So, for instance, we have RPG, who will be doing behind the scenes of Expedition Bigfoot and Finding Bigfoot. So let's say you wanted to go and see their talk, and the talk schedules will be released about a month before. Now we have a selected number of talks on the Saturday, and then we have the rest of the talks on the Sunday. So it really depends whether, if you get the VIP package, it means that then you're guaranteed to get all the talks, because obviously I can't fit about 25 people to 30 people in one day. That's just ridiculous. So we have different experiences. So you get about half an hour for their talk, and then half an hour for their guest experiences. So if you wanted a little bit more intimate with them, and you weren't going to buy the VIP package, you can be in a group of 20, and you can go and have a chat with guests themselves, and they can answer any questions they want. We're also having kind of DJ Brewster from Alaska do an experience. He's going to talk about all the different stories that he's done, and we have all sorts of experiences that I can't think of right now, that are on there for people to purchase. And something that we've really tried to do with this conference is an awful lot of conferences go, right, you are a member of the public that comes around, you meet the guests on their table, you look around the vendors, you listen to their talk and go. That's normally how conferences work. Ours is very different, where you can have, if you buy the VIP package, there's several moments where you can have an intimate talk with the guest. So let's say you wanted to meet DJ Brewster and actually talk to him, you will have several different moments to talk to him. So they'll be at their table. They'll be, all the guests will be there on the Saturday evening, so a more relaxed feel with bands playing and that, and you can go up and talk to the guests. And one thing that I have forgotten is our Sunday evening. We are going to be doing a screening of Legends Meet Science from Doug Hychek and Jeff Meldrum, and we may have a virtual talk from Doug Hychek on the Sunday. So if anyone is looking to actually talk to Doug, he can't be here, but he will be speaking virtually. And we also have Lyle Blackburn speaking virtually as well on the Sunday. So if you wanted to talk to both of them, they're both able to talk to on the Sunday. So if you wanted to talk to any of the guests, really, they will be there the entire weekend. Friday evening, you may go back and forth. Go on, Andy.
I was just going to say, so it's Friday the 30th of May till Sunday the 1st of June.
Sunday the 1st of June. We should be finished by 6 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah, it's all right, because I'm just booking the Friday off work.
I love you doing that on a live podcast, Andy. That's funny.
Yeah,
that is funny.
So
yeah, that's what the conference is, and it's taken an awful lot of my time.
I can imagine. Yeah. I don't even. I was saying before, I don't even have time to do this, let alone full-time job and normal life and everything else in between.
But we considered hosting a Paracon, and we're like, no, it's too much. No. So God bless you, dude.
Yeah, done an absolutely amazing job, because I've interviewed Brian King Sharp a couple of times. I've had Paul Howard. He's been on a couple of times as well, and they both said what an absolutely amazing job you've done with the conference and how well it worked. And just everything. And people have been putting in the chat tonight, you should be from Og says, this is Elaine, the moderator. You should be very proud of yourself, Daniel. Just amazing to hear you. And just loads of different people in the chat have been putting very similar things. And I've been watching what you've been doing, not in a freaky, stalky kind of way, but
I know, mate. Yeah.
Because that, you know, I've known Harlem for a couple of years now, and the WIT team and all them. Known them for quite a while. I've interviewed Harlem. I've met him a couple of times, so I know how much effort he puts into it. And after speak, because I'm thinking, well, if you put half the effort that Harlem does, then you're just gonna keep going and going. And then after speaking to you tonight, it's like, oh my God, that's just, it's amazing. It really is amazing, honestly.
There's some points where I'm probably up working to about 1 o'clock in the morning on banners, and I can't do that during the day because I'm just trying to sort everything else out. Because I explain it to my family where there's some days where I could be on the sofa doing nothing, and I could be doing some practice exams papers, or my phone could be buzzing like 3 times every minute. And I could be literally answering calls, and so there's some days where I'm just like, oh, can everyone just stop phoning me for 1 minute?
But
I get
do you find that
busy, but sometimes busy's too busy.
But do you find that when you're not doing anything and your phone's not going off, that it's just nice? It's like the calm before the storm, because you know it's all going to kick off again, and it's like straight back into
Never
it
say the
even
word
breathing.
quiet.
No.
Never say the word quiet.
No. Paused. Everything's paused for a while.
Because that's always a mistake. Let's say I'm always on the phone to Nan, and I'm like just trying to sort out floor plans, and then I use the word quiet, and every time I do, it all kicks off.
Next time you come back, you got to bring Nan with you.
Yes,
I will. Don't
we need
worry,
to meet
I will.
the legend that is your Nan.
Right, I'm just picturing like a little old lady rappelling up a ridge.
Yeah, with all the ropes and the army and everything
she does quite well to kind of keep up, because obviously she's the one that comes around with meetings with me, and say she's the one that does most of the groundwork with me, and we do like floor plans. The amount of times that we've measured balls and measured fields because we need to do something, and Nan's like, it's raining, I want to go home, and I'm like, we ain't going home until we've measured the field. So and then even kind of going around the forest, and kind of we just have so much fun out there. And say she then co-hosts my podcast with me, so I have about 4 co-hosts. So if anyone does watch my podcast, Jill Roberts is on there for half the time with me, and say we just have fun doing it. Yes, there are their problems, and yes, we have the issues, and say, but we kind of try and get through them by just blocking all those problems out, and then just pretended that they've gone away.
Yeah, I did have 4 co-hosts, but they're all rubbish, so they've all gone off one's doing panto, one's working. There's only Nicole that shows up. Yeah, I actually spoke to Tommy today, so it's all good. Yeah, so it's good to have that variety, to mix it up a bit,
get everybody's perspectives.
Yeah, and get different opinions and theories on everything, because there might be stuff that you spoke about that I don't know, and Nicole does, and vice versa. So, but nicknames just put in the chat, because I was going to suggest this when Nicole said about getting your Nan on. Get Harlan on as well if you want.
Yeah. So that's
I'm sure he'd be up for it.
So to kind of let everyone know in America, because I do kind of do a lot of stuff in the US. So Andy, you could kind of shush for a minute. I will be in the US a lot next year. I will be doing 3 conferences, and I'll be headlining the completely forgot name. We I think it's the Pennsylvania conference that I will be at with Ronnie LeBlanc, Brian Sharp. Yes, which is why I said, and I'll meet Andy. I'll get to hug Andy in May. So if you wanted to come on to that, and then there's a good chance that I'll be over in November of next year, and I'll be down in Florida, and then I'm then possibly coming over to Tennessee as well next year, and say yes. So if you wanted to meet me, there's your chances.
Yeah, I am in New York, so I'm just like a hop, skip, and a jump from Pennsylvania. I'm gonna come to that one.
But do you know what's funny?
Yeah.
I'm going to Pennsylvania in June, and we're going to Florida in
July.
July?
No, you're both in July, right?
Me?
Yeah.
No, July's St. Petersburg, isn't it? In Tampa.
And the week after is Gettysburg.
Week after is Gettysburg. But then I'm supposed to be going to Massachusetts-ish, maybe sometime between now and May. And then there's another one that I can't really talk about.
Oh.
So, yeah.
All the secrets today.
It's just, yeah. It's
I'll
crazy.
actually be flying in. I'll be flying into New York next year.
Oh.
We're flying into New York, and then we're then driving to Pennsylvania because me and Dad love New York. I've never been, and I would love to.
It's not bad.
So
if you want to go on any
no, I went
while you're here, let me know. I'll take you out ghost hunting.
We'll do.
No, I went to New York.
Amazing.
Yeah, about 5 years ago, and I'll keep going on about it. But it's cheaper to fly to JFK than it is to like the surrounding areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm talking like £800 cheaper. That's just your flight. So
you are right on that, Andy.
Yeah, it is definitely worth the drive.
That it's something that me and Dad love doing in the US.
Yeah.
I go to the US quite often, not for kind of Bigfoot related stuff, but we spend a lot of time in Florida. Me and my family love Orlando, and I'm 15, and I think the next time I go will be the 20th time I've been.
Wow. All right. To Disney?
Definitely
Universal?
Universal. Me and Dad are Universal. And then girls are Disney. So yeah.
Very good.
Amazing.
Yeah. Not bad, is it?
Making Andy jealous over here.
Yes. But I've been to New York, so it's all right. And I've been to Salem. I've been to Connecticut. So I've been on all the good places, so it was good. I did 10 days.
Well, Andy, when you come down in May, we will take good care of you, mate.
Thank you.
In a nice way. Don't worry.
Not
in a nice way. Not a threatening way.
Not thrown in the back of the van and driven round for like 5 hours. So I don't know where I am.
In the back of Simon's van, you'll never make it out.
I'll be fine. I'll find my way home. I'll find my way back. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, if you can send me the link once we've done this, is that all right? and then I'll get my ticket booked for May.
Yeah.
And then
Will do.
I can share that out for you on here and on my Facebook groups and page.
Cool. So, amazing. Well, thank you so much, guys, for having me on. Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. It's really
yes.
And we'll definitely have you back.
Yes.
If you're willing to come.
Just bring everyone. Just bring everyone with you. It's fine.
I will probably when you guys want to, I will probably bring the gang with me. I'll probably bring Nan with me. I'll bring my good friend Chris Alsford that is traipsing after me. He's also one of the organisers of the conference, and then I'll bring probably RPG with me. Now RPG's another level, and he's So yeah. Amazing.
I was actually watching Expedition Bigfoot the other night, and RPG was on. It's like, it's what a guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, he's wonderful, and to be on kind of researching with him and to kind of say I talk to him, no joke, 6 times a day.
Wow.
When I said to you, Andy, I need 2 minutes, I was on the phone to Ryan before I jumped on air. So I was literally just finishing a call with him and say he's incredible, and say so is Ronnie as well. It was just amazing to kind of hang out with him, and many more to that. Yeah.
Excellent. Right, well, she'll let you go because I know you've got loads and loads to do. So we're going to hit a break. Yeah. Thank you for coming on. I'll keep in touch with you and we'll sort something out for you coming on next time. Definitely. And I will see you in May, if not before.
And I will see you, when is it, August? Pennsylvania?
Yes.
Yeah.
August 9th. Yeah. I will get Andy to put me and you in contact, and I'll send you a link and that to it.
Yeah, I'll get everything set up for us. Right. Amazing. So you enjoy the rest of your night. Good luck with everything you've got going on. Not that you're going to need it, but it's there anyway. So you look after yourself, and everyone that you know that I know, just tell them I said hello, and see you all soon.
We'll do.
Oh,
amazing.
I don't know them. I said hello anyway.
We all said hello. Yeah. Right. We'll let you go. So I'm going to hit a break, and I'll speak to you soon, Daniel. Thanks a lot.
Amazing.
Take care, mate.
Thanks, Andy.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks,
bye. Right. So as Daniel goes, we're going to hit a break, and then we're going to come back with some updates. 2 minutes 20. Yeah. So see you then. And we are back. Yes, we are. So I've just got a message off Daniel, and I'll read it out as he said, "Thanks so much, buddy. That was incredible. Really appreciate it. Sorry I had to go. I've just got lots going on," which he did tell me before we come live, so it's all good. But for him to do all of that, for anyone to do that, he's like, wow.
Incredible.
Makes us all look crap, doesn't it?
Right? Like we're grown ass adults and we can't do that.
Thinking, I'm doing all right doing this, and then he comes on and and we're like, yeah, all right, I'll just go and climb back in my hole. So yeah, such an amazing 15 years old. He started doing this at 12, 13. So that's just starting high school.
Yeah, for as long as I can remember, like going out and doing things, but never to the level of like, hey, I would never have thought at 15 I'm gonna throw a conference.
No, I was probably still building stuff with Lego and things like. Do you know what I mean? Watching cartoons. That was it. Mm-hmm. Anyway, moving on. So we have our Christmas special next Friday. So it'll be myself, Nicole, and Tommy. Tommy, every time I speak to Tommy, he confirms it.
Okay.
So we are going to be black and white. Yeah. And we are going to have a nice Christmas banner. There we go.
And Andy's going to sing Christmas carols.
And fits perfect. And for those that, I don't know if you've noticed, I've added me and you into the, I sent you this earlier, didn't I? Into the backdrop.
Yeah, you sent it to me as a message.
The UK. I know. I just thought it's easier than doing it on WhatsApp. I just because I did it on my iPad, and I just thought I'd add the UK and the US flags and do the communication between the two with and the blue and the pink. I just thought it looked really good.
I think it's cool. Yeah. I love it.
It looks more, I think, more appealing. Don't you think? A little bit. I don't know. Maybe not.
People like faces. That's what they told us.
Yes.
On the 24-hour. People like faces.
Yeah, that's what I keep getting told. So you have to like ours, whether you like it or not. The irony. Right. So, and Simon helped. Yes, he did.
Oh, thanks, Simon. Good job.
Yeah. So we're going to put this banner up. Daryl likes it. Thank you, Daryl. So why not join in our Christmas? This is so funny. This is so funny. Why not join in the Christmas spirit and hand draw your very own Christmas Krampus? So you got to do a hand drawn. You do it with your foot, your nose, your left hand, your whatever, anything you want. Take a photo of it. Huh?
If it's you do it with your foot, it's foot.
You just got to draw it. You've got to draw it yourself. It can't be AI. It can't be something you've taken off Google. It's got to be a real drawing. So you take a photo of it and you can send it to me either via email to Andy at Alien8uk or if you, on Messenger from friends of you on Facebook or message or WhatsApp. They will be shown. They will all be shown next week, but you have to put your name and your age on it. And there is. I can't say this without laughing. Right, there is a reason behind it. Yeah. You don't have to put your surname, just your first name. So even I'm doing a drawing. You've got to do a drawing.
Put my age on it.
You've just make some if you want. Who's gonna know other than you?
That's true.
Right. So
Google it.
we're gonna put. So Andy 27 or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, obviously. So they've already started coming in these pictures. On the first one I got, I was driving. I had to back up. I was crying. It was so terrible, right? None of the images are going to be revealed until next Friday. So once I get them all, then I'm going to upload them onto StreamYard. There's going to be a prize for the best one and the worst one. So you can go either way with this. You can either make it really good or really crap. I'll do a little bit in between. And then, but people in the chat are going to vote for which is the best and which is the worst. but we're not allowed to. Oh, me, you, and Tommy are not allowed to vote in that. So
we can't vote.
No.
And you can't vote for yourself. You have it so you can't vote for yourself.
Yeah, so you can't go. You can't vote for yourself. So that is what's happening next Wednesday. But we're kind of going to do a double Christmas show. And I've not asked him yet, but I'm sure he'll be up for it. Excuse me. So we've got Wild Bill coming on next Wednesday. Hopefully, if he's watching or listening, we're going to do delve into a Christmassy type thing with it. Because obviously that's going to be Christmas week. So this wasn't my idea, by the way. Was it, nickname? There you go. So yeah, so we're going to do that. Also, we have guests. Sorry, go on.
You should make a little flyer and post it on the Facebook group too, so that everybody can participate.
Yes, so this is done. So even people that are not on YouTube, no AI, nothing like that. It's got to be your own drawing.
Pen and paper.
Who do we draw? Yeah, draw Krampus, crumpets, whatever you want.
Draw some crumpets. We'll bring the teeth.
No, so you just got to draw your own version of Krampus. Is it Krampus or Krampus? I'm confused. Krampus, yeah.
Krampus.
Yeah, so you draw your own version of Krampus and then take a photo of it. Yeah. And then I'll have to find a pen and paper. And then send it to me. I'll get them. I'll stick them all in a folder on the computer, and then we're all that'll be part of next week's show. So that's that. Oh, so that's the first one. The second one, we have a list of guests that are coming on up until the end of February and then going into March. So for those who don't know, for this Friday, thank you to Nicole, we've got Nick Trapani. He's a Australian
comedian,
and he owns a bar. But he owns a bar, doesn't he? And he believes his bar's haunted.
I don't know about any bar.
Oh, doesn't he own a bar? He went in and the air conditioning had been switched on or off.
He owns a business. I didn't know it was a bar.
Oh, I thought it was like a bar restaurant or something.
I thought it was a massage studio or something.
What? No. Anyway, he owns.
Anyway, he's had experiences. He's had experiences.
So, yeah, so he's coming on. Then we've got Wild Bill next Wednesday, Christmas special on the 20th. I may do a couple in between Christmas and New Year, but they're only going to be small or short, like few minutes here and there, just to keep the channel ticking over. Chameleon. Yeah, it's going to blend into the background. Wednesday, the 8th of January, Al Santariga. And he sent me loads of media from where he's been. And it's really good. And I'm not showing any of it until he comes on. So I've got it all lined up ready. So we've got Big Al coming on. Then Friday the 10th, we've got Neil Packer. I think he's from the UK. So he's on. He's going to be doing some talking. 17th of January, Frankie Adeo is coming on. See what I did? Frankie Adeo's coming on.
Oh, Frankie's amazing.
Yeah. So I sent him a message. He's like, look, because you couldn't make it, blah, blah, blah. He goes, yeah, I can make that work. 17th January.
Cool.
Then 24th, got Kate Hairgirl Ray. So she's from the UK, from Nottingham. And she's the one who's looked into the Wollaston gnomes, where them school kids see like 60 gnomes flying around in these multicolored cars. That's where I went on the road trip that I did this year. That was one of the places that I went to. She's coming on. Then on the 31st, we've got Heidi Pop. She's going to be coming on. She's from the US. I think she's over in California. Then Friday the 7th, Michael Kopf of Texas. He's going to be coming on. He's a good friend. He's not been on for quite a while. He's going to be talking about his 3,000 podcasts that he does every week and all the different things and the going out and investigating and going to the conferences. 14th of February, we've got Dr. Martin Abbas from the UK. He's going to be coming on talking about his theories and beliefs in any of the encounters that he's got coming on. There's a couple of Fridays that we've not got anyone booked because one of them Fridays I'm on holiday, but I'm not sure if we're going to be doing a stream on that day or not. I might be going out, but that's February the 28th. Then our next guest on the 14th of March is Bob Brown. So Bob Brown is from the UK. He's friends with Paul Sinclair, who does Truth Proof. So he's going to be coming on and talking about his encounters. He's got a podcast that he does on a Wednesday as well. I think he does that around 8 o'clock. I cannot remember the name of his show. Sorry, Bob. But yeah, so I've been trying to get him on for a while, but he didn't read his messages last time and it was too late, so it just didn't happen. So yeah, so that's who we've got so far. There are some other names that I'm waiting to hear back from. They're just waiting to confirm if they can do them dates or not. A couple of the names of the people were some that Daniel mentioned. So I've messaged them. They've got back to me, and I'm just waiting for them to confirm if they can or cannot do that date, and then arrange it for a date that they can do. So, and that's pretty much it. And also, so I was supposed to be going to Cannock. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able. The person that's doing the filming has been called into work, so they cannot go, and that's the main person that's going to film it. So instead, this Saturday, me and Tim are going to an old RAF airbase down the road from me, where you can go in the bunkers, where there's been soldiers. There's a bomber that crashed there. You can hear kids' voices have been picked up on EVPs. There's all sorts of stuff going on there. Yeah, so I'm going there on Saturday. He's picking me up and then we're off. So I'll go there for a couple. No?
What?
Private chat. Answer is no.
Oh.
Why can you not make it? Oh.
No.
I know it. Yes. I got you. Yeah. Yeah. Why did I not get that? Yeah. But yeah, so that is what's going on. So next Friday, it's going to be in black and white. I'll come out of the black and white because it's only our cameras that are going to be black and white. Because I didn't want, if people are sending the pictures in, don't want them being in black and white if they've put colour to them. But they can be overlaid, so it won't matter. So yeah, it's all good. So please do send your pictures in. You can email me at Andy@Alien8uk. You can message me, WhatsApp, Messenger, whatever. Just whatever way you can send it. Carrier pigeon, postcard.
You could stalk him and just hand it to him.
Yeah, just paper plane through the window or something. I don't know. Whatever. So yeah, and I'm going to be doing mine as well. And we are going to be talking. No. All right. And we are going to be talking about ghost stories, like haunted. I don't know why I keep saying ghost stories. Christmas encounters. So we need to get a few, only like 2 or 3 stories each for me and Tommy, and then we've got a lot. Yes, Christmas spirit, and not that sort of Christmas spirit. So we have got a lot coming up in 2025. With me going out investigating, I was going to do it on the other channel. Kind of reverting back, I'm going to do it on this channel, but there's not going to be any live investigations. Everything's going to be pre-recorded, all edited, put together, and then put out. Yeah, because I'm not going to be doing that many next year. Where I was doing like one every week the first year I started doing this, to it's like one every month or every other month during the summer. It's probably only going to be like 5 or 6 in total next year, because a lot of it's going to be getting recorded for TV. So it's going to be going out on there. So there's only so much that I can do, unfortunately. Unless someone decides they want to sponsor me, and then I'll do 20 podcasts a day if you want. So until then, I just have to keep going, won't I? But yeah, so that's it. And we've got a poll this week today. So it's like, what topics would you like to hear more of? Well, aliens and UFOs, Bigfoot cryptids, ghosts and spirits, conspiracy theories. So 45 for UFOs, 24 for Bigfoot, 14 for ghosts, and 17 conspiracy theories. But I did notice Gerald and a couple of other people said that they put in there they'd like to hear all of them, flower arrangements.
I do that if you want.
All of them. Oh, I've got a story about flowers if you want to hear it.
Yes. Did Sarah steal the flowers out of a graveyard?
No. These are like dancing flowers. It was reported. So this is back in the 70s in Manchester. There's a block of flats. They got knocked down to everything to be rebuilt. And they had people going in investigating it. And what had happened, I was only like 6, 7 at the time. It was my brother's mate. Either they used to live in the flat or they knew someone that lived in these flats. And what had happened was people would go in and these flowers, they'd put music on, they'd have music on the radio, and the flowers would start dancing. And people were like, even then I was like, well, could it be a window that was open or a door and the breeze coming through and making a move? I was like, these are flowers in plant pots with soil. They're not going anywhere, even unless it's a hurricane, they're not moving, are they? But they're like, no, he said that they had people going in and checking it all, and these flowers would still dance about to certain types of music. And then there's other stuff that went on there, I can't remember, so I'm not just going to make some up. I'm sure it was like they used to hear voices and that, or see apparitions going through walls and all that kind of stuff. But they ended up knocking it all down and rebuilding on it anyway. But it was reported in the local paper. I'll have to try and find it. I know it was around about 1978, 77, 78. I'll see if I can find it. If I can, I'll put it up on here. So Tommy said he was going to drink his Bud Light, and I was like, you may as well drink water if you're going to come on and drink Bud Light. So now he goes, I'm going to have my cheap cider. He goes, I only need 1 bottle of that and I'm done. I'm like, great. So, yeah, that's it.
Still got this sitting here. It has not moved. I have not touched it.
Yeah. I've had 1 shot. Look at all the dust on it.
I have a whole bar up here. What? Why is this thing on the bottom shelf of my desk? I don't know. I have a full bar, 4 different alcohols on my desk.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So cider and Jaeger bombs. Excuse me. Yeah. So that's
what I'm concocting here. I have.
Let's mix it all into 1 glass.
Rum, Fireball, Sambuca, and Blue Curacao. What am I making? Oh, I have grenadine.
Just put it all together and see what happens. That's all you can do.
Yeah, I'll just mix it in a water bottle.
Yeah, you'll be fine with that.
Yeah. I might be seeing in black and white after drinking all that.
Oh, never again.
Might be. Don't they say if you drink moonshine, you go blind?
No. Well, I was speaking to Simon today, and he ate too much chocolate and went blind for a few days. So,
what kind of chocolate, Simon?
Well, I think it's to do with the sugar content and So I was saying, like chocolate cake, you can have too much chocolate overload. I don't like chocolate cake because it's too many different types of chocolate together. Just don't like it.
Do you know what I made last night? I made brownies. I made brownies last night with my daughter, and we swirled peanut butter and fluff in there. So we have peanut butter and fluff brownies downstairs. We were experimenting. And I am a terrible, terrible baker, just for the record. They didn't really get cooked all the way, so it's kind of like a chocolate peanut butter fluff lava cake where it's just
raw in the middle.
Yeah. Tastes really good though.
That's so funny. Oh, earring counters.
Yeah.
So that's not going to be back on. Sorry, I know I'm not messing about, but it's just because of certain people cannot do Fridays due to work schedules. So earring counters is going to be back on. It's going to be January the 15th, and then it's going to be every 2 weeks. That way we can do a guest, or we can do earring counters and then a guest, or we can do a Q&A. There's all different things that we can do, and that way we can stick to Fridays of having a guest, and everything else will fit in between on a alternate Wednesday. And I think that's going to be the best way to do it going forward. And any investigations that I do, like I said, are going to get pre-recorded, edited, and then just put them out as and when. So, and that is it. But I can, honestly, I cannot. I'm just going to put this up. It was 98% chocolate and a bit of sponge covered in chocolate sauce and more chocolate on top. And then he was blind.
Sponge cake? Or do you mean an actual sponge? Because that might be why you've gone blind.
He's from Leeds, which is like the bad, well, I'm going to say the bad part of the north. So it could be anything.
Dodgy cake.
Yeah, served with chocolate ice cream, probably was. But no, I cannot. So Nicole doesn't know what's going to happen on Friday as such with the drawings. I know what's going to happen. A couple of people one person in the chat knows what's going to happen, and one other person. So this was all decided today during a phone call, because I had a couple of different ideas. Then this came up, and it just, like Simon's cake, it outweighed everything else.
Oh my God.
It was just talking, and it's like, oh, why don't I do the? And then we're both just laughing, and it's like, yeah, we can do that.
It's really funny to listen to you try to explain something without giving too much away.
I know.
It's so hard for you. You just want to say it.
I do. It's going to be lit. But
lit like a Christmas tree.
Yes. Or a sponge cake covered in brandy.
Yeah.
There you go.
Flambe.
But it was more of a joke at first when we're having the conversation about it. And then it's like, but it will actually work. All I'm going to say is, if anyone gets easily offended, tough. That's all you're getting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah. Be prepared, is all I'm going to say.
I am prepared. We're roasting Krampuses?
Yeah. Wear your tinfoil hat as well.
All right. I was going to wear a Santa hat, but I might change that for a tinfoil Santa hat. I wonder if I can make a tinfoil Santa hat.
I can. I have to buy one bit, but then I can make the rest. I know what I'm going to do.
Tinfoil Santa hats.
There you go. Sorted. So that is it. I know we're on an hour and a half, but I've nothing else to cover. I've covered it in like 20 minutes. So do you have anything? Do you have any investigations that you're going to be going out to? Or
we went on one on Saturday. We were at a magic shop.
Yes, because weren't you all dressed in like 1700s?
It was Victorian themed. So we were dressed in Victorian costumes. And we had some really good interactions with a spirit who was a military member. And one of the guests was actually, he's a military reenactor, and he knows like the regiments and the battles and everything. So we're sitting there with dowsing rods, and he's like, were you in this regiment? No. Were you in this regiment? Yes. I'm like, I couldn't even make it up because I have no idea what any of these things are.
No,
I wouldn't even know like what to lie about and make the rods cross.
But did you find that the rods work better than pretty much anything else?
I find that the rods get more responses than anything else. I don't know if they work better because...
More in tune, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we did a human pendulum experiment. Have you ever done that?
The what, sorry?
Human pendulum.
No. We just hold someone by the feet.
Yes. Yes, that's what we did. I am incredibly strong. I
Out of a window.
So you have somebody standing in the middle of a circle and ask the spirits to use this person as a pendulum. So they're standing there and you say, can you show me what a yes looks like? So in the first case, the woman, moved forward for yes.
Yeah.
Can you show me no? And she moved backwards. And these people during this experiment are moving so much that they're almost falling over. Like you have to have a spotter behind and in front so they don't topple over, because you go into this kind of meditative state and let the answers flow through you like a regular pendulum.
Yeah. Sorry, I just read in the comments. That's so Tommy doesn't try kids Krampus. Yeah.
Oh
when I said dangling, I was going to say like using them, holding the feet, dangling them out of a window. You let go and you end up in a bush.
That's how I'm drawing my Krampus, holding a kid upside down.
Oh my god! Yeah. So thank you, everyone in the chat. Been good tonight. I've enjoyed it. It's been a lot more relaxed tonight. Don't you think?
We're just chatting.
Yeah. So a lot of people in the chat. Do some names. So Moon at Noon, Mark Anderson, Wayne, Fire Spirit, Darren, Baby with a Laser, Simon, My Blog Sunny 11. Sorry, I can't remember your real name. Do apologise. Dead Fish, Danny Stanton, Drew Holdings, Michelle. Oh, was it? Why didn't it? Oh, Michelle Hartshorn. I don't know. Yeah. Jason Pritchards. Jason. There's another Jason, but I can't see him. Sorry. I'll just try and type the name and it'll tell me what the name is. Jason Finch. That's it. Yeah. So thank you everyone coming in the chat. Sorry I didn't get to ask the question nickname, but hopefully Daniel will be back on soon. Hopefully he's going to be on with his nan and Harlan, so that'll be a good one. They're all going to be good. They're all good. Every single one's good, so enjoying it. Oh, I got a comment tonight just before we went live.
Yeah. The next one?
I effed an interview up, with Albert Rosales.
What?
Yeah, because I kept talking to him, so I ruined it. And when you've got a guest on that's that great, you should just let them talk. Right?
What's that? Do they know what this show is? Although our buddy earlier did shush you.
Yeah, but there's a reason behind it.
I know. He had to, but it was funny. He was like, "Shh, Andy, be quiet for a little bit. I won't say it."
Yeah.
Because what other 15-year-old is going to come on a show and be like, "Shh,
exactly.
Quiet. Just quiet."
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Wait till I see him in May. But no.
Are you going to dangle him out?
But if you're going to do a podcast, you have to ask questions.
Yes.
And it's the one where Albert Rosales came on wearing a wig. So
yeah. But also, like, do they know what this show is? The show is not your typical interview, like rapid fire question answer. Like, this is a conversation.
Boring. It's yes.
I hate
definitely
shows like that. I've been a guest on podcasts like that. And I'm like,
that was no wig.
Like, I want to talk to people. Like, I don't want to just answer questions. And I don't think our guests do either.
No, because I've spoke to guests. I'll put this out there now. I spoke to guests, big names, not so big names, some that people have probably never heard of. And they don't like being asked the question of where did it all begin? What's your scariest encounter? What do you think a dogman is?
Yeah.
Because it's that's what was it like doing the TV show? Because they're the questions that they get asked all the time, wherever they go, whether it's an interview, on the street, wherever. And you just got to let them talk and think of the questions while they're talking and pick up from what's being said. Exactly. That's why I said might have a couple of things wrote down at the beginning and then I'll write stuff as we're going, but that's it. And I don't want to ask them boring questions because if it was me, I wouldn't want to be asked them questions. I'd just make some up.
If you've seen one interview with someone and they're all asking the same questions, you don't need to watch another interview.
Yeah, you may as well just watch one of them instead of interviewing them.
Exactly. Like, it's better to have a normal conversation, like you were sitting down, having a drink, hanging out.
Exactly that. Yeah. And and even when you do that in real life, you still talk over each other. So it happens because you don't know when the next person's going to speak, and if you've got something to say, you want to say it before you forget what you're going to say. So I don't do it to be rude. I don't know if you do. I don't do it to be rude or anything like that. But
damn American.
And that's why when you see I write something down quick, it's because I need to write it down because I will forget what I'm going to say. But I don't want to keep interrupting because, like, when you got to say something, so I'll stop and not you do the same. It's just how it works because we're not all in the same room, so it's a lot more difficult.
But that's how conversation works. And you say something like you say, "Oh, I saw a pterodactyl," and you're talking about your experience, and then our guest tells us their opinion on it. They're not going to tell their opinion on a pterodactyl on any other show because nobody's thinking to ask them about that.
Exactly.
It's a conversation.
That. Yes. Yeah. And people don't get it. It's not ask a question, you answer. Ask another question, you answer. Because after the second question, I'm turning it off and going watching something else.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I like that we always try to get to all of the, the viewers' questions and everything.
Yeah.
But other than that, we just let it flow.
You can't always do it because when the guest likes to talk without stopping, there are certain ones, George Mitrovic. It's hard to get the questions in because you feel rude stopping a mid-sentence.
And also, it's really interesting what they're saying.
Exactly.
That's the kind of people you have on when you don't want to do work today. You're just like, all right, we're going to have this guest and we're just going to sit there like this the whole time. Like,
sit and wait. Yeah.
Listening to all this stuff. It's so interesting.
But then when we do that, when we've got the questions, I'm having to bring the question back and then remember what the question was related to if we've moved on to another subject.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, try doing that as well as everything else. Oh, it gets easier. The more you do it, the easier it gets. So but I just love doing this.
Yeah, and I love the format.
It's still a hobby. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it's good. So on that note, I've got nothing else to add to that. So if you want to criticize me, do it in crayon and put it straight in the bin because I'm not interested.
Do it in crayon on your Krampus drawing.
No.
And then we'll have to show it.
No. I'll throw them in the bin. No.
Everybody make a Krampus saying Andy stinks or something.
What?
Make a little speech bubble. Says Ruth.
Watch this now. Are you ready? I have the power.
You can also say Nicole stinks, like.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't going to be that rude though, but it's good. I was going to say, are you going to do Andy Bingo on Christmas?
I could do Andy Bingo.
Yes.
A short Andy Bingo because you have to get a lot of things in 2 hours.
Yeah.
The 24-hour, I had what, 12 things, 15 things?
Yeah, and I think there was 3. There's only 3 that I didn't do, so it was good. Now that I know what it is and how it works. So yeah, right, yes. So you have. So these pictures need to be in no later than 12 noon UK time next Friday, and that will be 7 a.m. EST. And then anyone else in America, just work your times out back from there. So east side is 7 a.m. UK 12 a.m. Then I can get them all uploaded, sorted out. So
I make West Coast 4 a.m. You better get up early to draw those drawings.
Yes, and if you're in Australia, then I don't know.
I don't even know.
I think they're in front, aren't they? I don't know. My eyes are.
Well, I think when I was trying to figure out with Nick if he could come on, like the time zone, he was like, I don't know, it's like 11 o'clock on Saturday morning or something.
Yes. Yeah.
Something crazy. Yeah.
They're like 11 hours in, 9 or 11 hours in front. I think the same as Japan, but I don't know. Right. So that's it. We are done. So thank you for watching. Thank you for everyone who's going to be listening on podcasts. The podcasts are picking up. We're getting more and more downloads, so that's good. We're over the 200 mark now. And yeah, so thank you all the new subscribers, all the new listeners, all the new members of YouTube and Patreon and everything else. You can help support us by either doing it through Patreon, YouTube membership, and PayPal. So on that note, I'm going to go. I'm just going to leave you with one last image before we do. What image do you think it's going to be?
Master Splinter.
You reckon? There we go. So Master Splinter says, get your Krampus images in, or he's going to come and get you.
Photoshop a Christmas outfit on him.
Yes, something like that.
Pop budgies.
Yeah, put would you Christmas. Right. So I'm going to go. Have fun. See you on Friday when we're going to be joined by Nick Trapani. We'll see what goes on in his world. So take care, everyone, and see you all soon. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.